Welcome to the WLPGA podcast series. Each podcast will feature LPG industry leaders and explore current opportunities, trends, and developments in the LPG industry. We hope you enjoy these informative segments.
Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to the latest podcast from the World LPG Association. I am Sophie Depraz, the Program and Communication Director at IPCA, and I'm very pleased to contribute to these LPG talks. I will focus this one on the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and why they are important for the private sector. But first, for those of you new to IPCA, let me give you a quick overview of who we are and what we do. We are the Global Oil and Gas Industry Association for advancing environmental and social performance, and the only one covering both upstream and downstream part of the industry. We were formed in 1974 at the request of the United Nations Environment Programme, and 45 years later, we are still the industry main interface with the UN. We are a membership organization, and our members include over 45 oil and gas companies and service contractors, as well as a wide network of some 30 associations, such as the World LPG Association. Our members come together to produce good practice guidance around climate, environment, social, and other sustainability topics. But enough about us. Today, I'm going to talk about the UN Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs for short, why these are so important for the private sector, and the role the oil and gas industry can play in helping to achieve them. So let me start with some background. The UN developed the 17 goals to address some of the world's most pressing economic, social, and environmental challenges by 2030. These are big, ambitious, and above all interconnected challenges, ranging from ending poverty to improving human health, tackling climate change and biodiversity, or respecting human rights. 193 countries have signed up to this very ambitious plan of action in 2015. And while governments are expected to lead on these, they can't do it alone. They need the support of all parts of society, especially the business community. And the oil and gas industry can play a really key role in supporting governments achieve this very ambitious agenda. And let me tell you why. The oil and gas sector is a key pillar of the global energy system and therefore a driver of economic and social development of the global economy and many national economies. And while the sector certainly can contribute to all the goals, we can have a massive impact, and I do mean massive, on those related to access to energy, climate action, life on land and water, health and economic development, to name a few. To help our industry understand the impact and opportunities provided by the SDGs, IPCA developed an atlas mapping the oil and gas industry against the SDGs. We did this in partnership with the United Nations Development Programme and the International Finance Corporation. The atlas runs through the SDGs goal by goal, focusing on the contribution the oil and gas sector can make to each one. And it also identifies opportunities to collaborate with other stakeholders to leverage skills and resources to achieve the goals. The reason I stress this last point is that partnership approach is crucial if the world is to achieve the 2030 deadline, which is less than 10 years away from now. In response to this urgent need for collective action, IPCA has teamed up with the World Business Council for Sustainable Development to work on an oil and gas sector roadmap. This SDG roadmap will be launched by the end of 2020 and builds on the work of the Atlas by charting tangible action the industry can take, going beyond business as usual to catalyze the sector contributions to the SDGs. We hope that the roadmap will act as a call to action for the entire industry, bringing the whole sector together on the sustainable 2030 pathway. The oil and gas industry is already contributing to sustainable development in many ways, and with a joined-up industry approach, we can do even more. Although it's not just about us. At IPCA, We realize that sustainable development challenge is too big and too complex for any one industry to tackle alone. And that's why, along with our members, we are committed to working with all parts of society to achieve the SDGs by 2030 and help create a world in which no one is left behind. If you would like to learn more about IPICA and what we are doing around sustainable development, I invite you to visit our website www.ipica.org. Thank you for your time and stay safe.
We hope you enjoyed this podcast, and we look forward to you tuning in again soon.